Chad of the North. Oh no, you can't do that. I'll just name him Steve. Awesome, Steve. Now let's get this fun going. Nothing else. Totally nothing else. The YouTube. Also, to clarify, YouTube. I'm 26. Okay, I'm 26-year-old. I'm clarifying. I will gladly clarify and verify that. Oh god, what is happening, dude? You sigh deeply as you close the door behind you. You can't believe you took this job as a handyman for a series of apartment buildings downtown. It seems like such a sweet gig on paper. All you had to do was a few odd jobs for old ladies. Maybe fix a sink or change the light bulb, and then you get the kickback for the rest of the day. Ugh. The reality, you haven't had a moment's rest since you started this damn job. You've been elbow deep in a leaky garbage disposals, crawling under toilets, and worst of all, listening to rich dudes explaining what a wrench is like they invented the damn thing. Well, damn. You rub your temple and glance around. What is all this? The apartment is weirdly clean, like a magazine cover clean, and whoever lives here has taste and money. Mid-century furniture, soft lighting, and a very fluffy rug that makes you suspicious about ever taking your shoes off. I would be suspicious about a rug too, especially if you don't know if there's stuff in there. But the TV looks older than you are, CRT, chunky, probably weighs more than a Vespa. You guys remember those TVs that are like, okay, so I remember before for this one uncle, I was supposed to move this TV, but it was like the big TV things, and I was looking at the stuff it was on. I'm like, dang, that wood looks like it could break at any time. And I was like, I ain't moving this TV. Luckily, I didn't have to. I'm pretty sure it was a different TV that they wanted me to move, but still, I didn't trust it. Well, I better. You pull out your phone and check the work order, hoping it's something simple. At least the tenant of this apartment is supposed to be out for a day. You won't have to deal with small talk or awkward flirting. Not that you mind the flirting if they were cute. Ugh, it's something in the bedroom. Also, clarify, this is technically a rebellious game against what's going on itch right now. If you guys don't know about it, definitely look into it because, it's technically a card company going, hey, you cannot buy certain things or whatever. And I guess there's some exception to it, but other exceptions like people who actually make decent things to these. Because listen, I never played much of these game types. Okay, I'm not that type of dude. I experimented before and I thought this is lame or whatever, but somehow, some way, in certain ones, I'm like, dang, there's an actual story here. I'm not a gooner, guys. Listen, please, I gotta beat that allegation right now. I'm not one of those guys. But anyways, let's continue through the story real quick because I need to get through this and make sure nothing bad happens. Again, I'm trusting the creator who says there's not much crazy things. You glance up your screen and immediately notice something odd. Two bedrooms. One on your left, one to your right. Both with closed doors, both with, let's say, strong aesthetics. I'm scared. The door to the left has decorated with a photo of a sleepy looking cat wearing a knitted hat surrounded by rainbow stickers. The hearts and something that might be a motivational quote. The one on the right, black paint, silver accents, and a large decal of the Grim Reaper. Full size, empty sockets, metal as hell. Is that the Grim Reaper? In case you guys didn't get that, there was a joke. You stare a moment longer, confused and mildly impressed. Who the hell puts a life-size image of death on their bedroom door and she sleeps like a baby every day? Well, the problem is being one of those doors, and which one should I pick? Ooh, let's go through the creepy door and see what happens. Wait, hold on. Something bad might happen. Call it an instinct. A shiver runs down your spine as you stare at the door with the Grim Reaper poster. You don't like the look of that thing. You don't like its entire vibe. The scythe, the hollow eyes, the dramatic swirl of its cloak. It's like the door is daring you to enter. But something deep in your gut tells you this is probably where you need to be. This job has taught you one thing. The place you least want to go is usually the place you're most needed. It's like the Pennywise doors. Scary, not so scary. Well, I should probably. Another deep sigh racks your body as you steel yourself and walk toward the creepy bedroom door. What is that poster? What is that poster? Oh, the doll too hanging. I do not like this. Uh, Also, I really hope this isn't somehow AI, because I'm slowly getting those vibes. Yep, pretty much what you were expecting. Well, the one thing about this bedroom is the soft golden glow filtering through the dusty blinds. Everything else, gloomy, oppressive, goth as hell. Who would want to live like this? Hey, don't fucking judge a book by its cover, Dick. Uh, if I get any ending, that's it. I don't know if I'm gonna handle everything else. You look around and spot an unlit incense burner shaped like a crow, posters of obscure metal bands, and a pile of books with titles like Necromancy for Beginners, The Demon Lover, and Hex Your Ex, and the Necronomicon. That's weird that one's made of skin, though. Oh, and yep, that is definitely a voodoo doll or something pretending really hard to be one. This room feels like it belongs in a horror movie, not an apartment in a nicer part of town. Well, I don't have to live here, I just have to fix something. You set your toolbox down beside the bed and pull out your phone, trying to remember what this job was even for. With any luck, you'll be in and out in 5 minutes, tops. God, please let it be a loose doorknob or a broken outlet, not like haunted plumbing. Who the fuck are you? The voice hits you like a thunderclap. You nearly drop your phone as the heart launches into overdrive. You spin around and find a small girl glaring at you from a doorway you hadn't noticed. Seriously, who the frick are you? What are you doing in my room? Her tone is icy, her arms are crossed, and her eyes sharp enough to cut glass. It almost looks like Raven. You're about to explain when your eyes drift past her to the adjoining room. It's a bathroom, or at least it used to be. The walls have been painted jet black, including the toilet and bathroom. The only splash of color is the blood red shower curtain, which still glistens with moisture. The girl must have stepped out of the shower. Hey dude, I'm not gonna ask again. Tell me who you are, suffer my wrath. You laugh, maybe if she didn't sound like she actually meant it. And based on everything you've seen in this room, you're not eager to find out what wrath entails. I, I... You try to form words, but your brain has officially clocked out. The sheer weirdness of this moment, the grim decor, the mysterious girl, the black toilet, has scrambled your ability to function. You have got to be kidding me. She gives you a slow, judgmental once over, like she's deciding whether you're a burglar, a pervert, or just the dumbest man alive. I'm, I'm, I want you to think very carefully about your next words. I have several knives hidden in this room, and I will not hesitate to throw the dullest one first, just to make it hurt. Okay, damn. Okay, that's it. This can't be real. You've wandered into some kind of fever dream. No job is worth getting stabbed over. You take a careful step backward and then another. Hey! You hear her shout behind you as you turn to make a strategic rapid retreat to the living room. You're not exactly proud of running, but you're still alive, and right now that feels like a win. Find yourself back in the living room, your heart still pounding in your chest. In the middle of the day, you seriously didn't think there'd be anyone home. Shouldn't both of these girls be at work, school, anywhere but here? What the actual fuck is going on? You're just about to turn tail and run when you hear a door open on the other side of the room. Hello? Oh, here's the girl I might have to censor. Yeah, I'll censor her. A beautiful girl stands framed in the doorway on the left side of the living room staring at you. Who are you? The girl looks up and down, taking in the entirety of you. I mean, other than a tall drink of water. Damn, she's thirsty. A half smile creeps on your lips as you look at this stunning creature. She seems to be flirting with you. Maybe. It's honestly hard to tell since your heart is still hammering away at your chest. I'm Steve. You can practically hear the smug grin on your own lips as you look at the handsome woman in front of you. Colette. The girl who must be Colette and I both turn around to find the small, scared girl from up before staring at us. Her eyes dart from me to Colette and back again as she walks over to us. Colette, would you please tell your co-stars to stay in your room? This big lug practically gave me a heart attack earlier. Colette's eyes dart between me and the tiny spitfire of a creature standing there in front of me. Would he be my co-star, Scouts? I don't know this dude. The tiny girl, who's apparently called Scout, looks up at me with shock written all over her face. So this is not... She lets the rest of the sentence take in the air, staring at me with growing confusion. Wait, you're not here for her? Something tells me she has, a lot of people playing D&D sessions. Scout nods her head in the direction of Colette. No. Scout and Colette exchange a look before Colette walks over to her friend. So would you like to tell us what the fuck you're doing here? Hearing profanity like that come out of this pretty girl's mouth is kind of shocking. However, she's right. It's time for you to explain yourself. The only question is, what would you say? I'm the handyman. Why would I say anything else? That's literally the stupidest thing to choose any other thing. You stand there for a moment, staring at the girls in front of you. It seems kind of hard to believe that they would piece it together based on how you're dressed. Then again, it's very unclear who they thought you might be. After all, one of them mentioned something about a co-star. Well, they're going to tell us who you are, or do we have to beat out of you? I thought I said it. Colette looks up and down, her mood appearing sour. You're not one of those deranged fans, are you? I warn you, I have a mace. Colette looks around for a second, clearly confused. I mean, I have some around here somewhere. You can almost hear Scout rolling her eyes. You get the sense that she has to deal with her friend for a while. You can't help but smile at the two of them, especially knowing how dumb they're about to feel. Well, I am the handyman. Their eyes go wide as the words leave your mouth. You're a handyman? Scout screams fill the room, making both Colette and you jump. Also, it's so funny that it feels like they grow taller. Yeah. I'm here about... Well, I'm actually not sure what I'm here about. I was checking it out when you chewed me out. You shoot Scout a meaningful look, as he has the good sense to look embarrassed. You look from Scout to Colette and back, wait for either of them to say something. So, would either of you tell me why I'm here? It's my bed. It makes this horrible noise when I work. Okay, I don't know why you would do push-ups on the bed, ma'am. That's not a smart idea. Wait, what? Yes, I called this guy because of my bed. I. Kayla stops talking as she notices the strange look on Scout's face. You called this guy? Yeah, I did. No, I called him. I'm sorry, what? You look from Scout to Kayla and back, not sure what's going on. Yeah, I have a problem with my curtains. They don't close all the way, making it hard for me to read her book in the dark. I guess reading in the dark is something you like to do when I work. The two girls share a giggle, which you have no idea how to read. What do they mean by work? And why would a bed of curtains have something to do with this? So, Scout turns her attention back to you. I guess it's good that you came. It seems like we both need you. You look from Scout to Colette. You can't believe your luck. Despite the way this day started, it seems to look up. After all, two cute girls need your help. Also, my question, I forgot to say, why does my guy not have a shirt underneath that outfit? Yeah, we both need your help, but you should help me first. Colette sends a wicked ways, the smile on her face widens. I'll make it worth your while. Oh, damn, she's got a tribute to some Taco Bell? That's so amazing. You look over to find Scout frowning at her friend. Would you stop flirting with the guy? I know he's just your type, but contain yourself. Anyway, I need your help. I'm gonna be the whole, it's gonna be the whole day until I get those damn curtains fixed. My work requires darkness. To summon, creatures, right? Hey, listen, I'm not here to judge. If you like summoning demons, is just your thing, as long as they don't go to my household. It seems like both of them need you. The only question is now, which one of them are you going to help?
This is how to talk to a goth girl.
Okay, now can I uncensor for a while? Thank you. What was that about? Oh, don't mind her. She always like that when she doesn't get her way. Also, someone should tell her to move her shirt up a little. Scout raises an eyebrow at you. Right, the curtains. Scout turns around and heads to her room, leading into her den. You have to be honest, her place kind of creeps you out, but this is your job. It's really no less creepy on a second viewing. It kind of feels like a Tim Burton wet dream standing here. What? Scout turns around and gives you a skeptical look. Nothing. Your room is just... You stand there for a moment, struggling to find the right word to describe it. The longer you think, the fewer words come to mind. How could you possibly describe the room in front of you? Interesting. Your stuff is interesting. The words come out almost as cough. You stare at the voodoo doll above Scout's head. Interesting. Scout stares at you for a moment, one eyebrow raised. Yeah, interesting. Come on, Steve, you can say it. Say what? Creepy. My stuff is creepy. What? I would never say that. I would never suggest that. A smug smile dances across Scout's features as she looks at you. You get the sense that she is toying with people like this. Okay, your stuff is creepy. I'm glad you think so. Wait, you're glad? Yeah. I spent a lot of time making this place as unique as I could. It's part of my appeal. I stand there for a moment, not sure what that means. A reflection of your appeal? Yeah, you know. Scott runs her hand up and down her slender frame. Can't help but notice how cool she actually is. This girl is actually really pretty. You must not have noticed until now because of, well, the personality. Scout gives you a skeptical glare. Clearly she knows that you lost the plot for a second. I need to give my audience something to enjoy. There it is again. First to talk about co-stars, and now audience. What does this girl actually do? I don't know. Maybe she works with a death note. Make them say the name of someone they hate.
I think we all know where this is going, so let's just skip to the end.
It's okay. I'll just have to show you. Show me. Stare Scout for a second, not sure what that means. She's got to use the Necronomicon. Yeah, I just want to give you a show. Oh god. You'll see that it doesn't work with the light. And maybe then you'll fix my curtains. Oh god. You stare at Scout for a moment longer. She's gonna turn me into a zombie, guys. What does she mean by a show? Certainly she's not gonna. She's gonna turn me into a zombie. Are you ready? Oh god. You swallow hard as Scout turns around and gets onto the bed. Oh god, she's using the Necronomicon. Hold on, I was double checking something, and this is so fucking funny. Scout runs get on bed. I can't believe this is happening. So this is how you usually start my shows. Scout reaches up and grabs one of the shots. Shots to slowly pull it down, revealing censored. Okay, because I was scared at first, but no, they're. Thank God, dude. Okay, I was scared. Censored. Oh, come on. We were just getting to the good part. Why did we stop? Oh, right, Itch.io. In case you haven't heard, Itch.io, they listed all best for work games on July 25th, 2025. Making it functioning possible for everyone to access to NSFW parts of the site and all the amazing games that people have worked on so hard on. Can I be real with you for a second? Erotic video games are, well, they're kind of still figuring themselves out. Which, in my opinion, is true. Because like I said, I've only experimented with some, and there's only those that are actually, like, decent and not just, like, horny stuff. But also, you know, there was so much AI stuff on there. And again, I'm not a gooner. I don't go into this stuff. I just check it out for fun, just see what story they tell. And if there's no story, I just leave the game. But this game is one of those funny games. Sure, there's been adult games for ages, some pixelated, some cringy, some weirdly ahead of their time, but it's only in the last 5 years or so that the genre has started to grow. Games like Summertime Saga or Being a Dick showed people that, hey, maybe these stories could actually have depth. I don't know those games or what those stories is, but I'm probably have to believe you. Like real writing, real characters, real gameplay, and yeah, that stuff, but done with purpose. That changed everything. Suddenly, more devs were stepping up, experimenting, mixing genres, blending erotic content with RPG mechanics, management sims, visual novels, even puzzle games. It's wild out there in the best way. But there's always a but, isn't there? With all that creativity came pushback. Some devs, you had to cross lines, sometimes on purpose, sometimes by accident, and people started asking questions about taste, about ethics, about what's too far. And I will call out a creator, let's say that made a Steven Universe game that I am disappointed with, and I'm also disappointed because I don't play it because I hate the series. But they also had a Loud House based game, and I didn't bother playing it because I'm like, okay, no, that's just too far. Like this person is saying, because again, Steven Universe thing. Originally, it was like an older Steven, whatever. But then they did a time reversal where you're younger Steven, and let's just say it has to do with either being dominant or not dominant, and I just hated that. I was like, no, I don't want to play this no more. And there's even some people who go like way too freaking far. Like a certain Sonic game I ended up coming across that I don't enjoy, and it's just like too much. But also, other people were just getting so lazy making AI content. Anyways, remember that game Hatred? Super violent, not even sexual, but it sparked outrage just by existing. I don't know that game, sadly. It reminded everyone that by pushing limits comes with consequences. And now erotic games are catching heat, but not from who do you think? Not players, not critics. No, it's the platforms. Steam, oh yeah, I forgot Steam was involved too. Itch.io, the payment processors, credit card companies, all because of a group called Collective Shout. And I didn't know these guys existed until I heard about these guys, and they're basically assholes. By the way, did you catch the pun in our names? Scout and Scout Collective Shout? Dev is very proud of himself. Anyway, games are getting delisted, shadow banned, quietly wiped out because someone behind the curtain thinks they're too risky. You probably never heard about it, but creators feel it hard. Because when you start silencing voices, just a little here, a little there, it adds up. And suddenly there's no room left to be bold, or weird, or real. Erotic games deserve better. They're not just about getting off, they can be funny, messy, emotional, healing even. There's so much potential, so many stories no one else dares to tell. And honestly, if you'd ever played that one that surprised you, made you feel something, anything, you know what I'm talking about. Endivio, I think their name. I came across one of their stuff, and I played the plus version of their game. And there was actual story there that surprised me. Because sure, you can turn certain stuff on and off if you don't enjoy the certain content, which is what I love, is that there's creators that could add that content, but also give you the option to turn it off if you do not like that subject, which I think is pretty great. But I also love the certain creators that ignore, let's say, incest, bodily fluids, certain part of the human body, or detachment and stuff like that, which I, for the longest time, never knew was a thing. All that other crap, most of those creators will go, no, we're not going to add that. That's too gross. And whatever. Like, I would technically shame you for some stuff, but I won't be like a huge dick towards you about this stuff. But I'm just saying that, in my opinion, some of those things are not cool. This whole situation reminds me of what happened to Tumblr or Pornhub. And now, technically, YouTube, I would say. 1 minute, they're platforms for expression. The next, they're cutting their own communities to look clean for advertisers. Like, because I'm just saying, the fact that there's even YouTube, who I think is going to wrongfully, in my opinion, with their AI, is going to wrongfully take down accounts on YouTube. And the laziest thing I will say is the fact that they're like, oh, show your face or ID. It's not going to work. Because, kids are always going to find a way. But if YouTube simply, oh, I don't know, fixed up their other app, YouTube Kids, and advertised it more, and let parents know about it, because at the end of the day, it's not the content creator's fault. It's the parents that don't monitor. But there's so many stubborn parents that don't want to hear that, and it's just so, it blows my mind that us adults have to pay a price just because, you know, kids are coming across things they shouldn't, and the parents are blaming us. And this is why I hate certain adults that are creeps and stuff that also ruin things for us. 1 minute life expectancy, sorry. And sure, they survive, but the soul gone. I just don't want that to happen here. Not again, not to us. You know what's strange? Porn survived. Even after Tumblr wiped the slate clean, even after Pornhub got gutted, people still found ways to create, share, adapt. Minus those certain artists that I don't like out there. So why am I saying that censorship in erotic game space feels more final? The difference in the medium itself. A GIF, a photo, a 5 minute clip, those could be made in a day. Uploaded by one person, shot in a bedroom with a phone, and everything. But in an erotic game, that's a whole different beast. It takes months, years even. You've got writers, codes, artists, animators, composers, voice actors, testers, and sometimes it's just one person doing it all, trying to make something beautiful out of nothing. And a lot of them are surviving on scraps, Patreon pledges, tips on Subscribe Star, or whatever Steam initiatives are managed to trickle down. So when those platforms start getting cagey, shadow banning, dislisting, making it impossible to even find the games, what do you think happens? They stop. Not because they want to, but because how can you pour years of your life into something that might never be allowed to exist? This isn't like migrating a bunch of videos to a new tube site. These are games are massive. They need stable hosting, visibility, payment processing, discoverability. And when all of that starts slipping away, it's not just that one game that dies. It's a whole corner of industry, one that's bold, emotional, weird, intimate. And it doesn't vanish with a bang, it just fades quietly. The sad truth is, the financial margins for erotic games are already razor thin. Most of them are made by small teams or solo devs working out of cramped apartments between day jobs. They rely on those platforms not just for money, but for legitimacy, visibility, for connecting with the people who actually care. Take that away, even a little, and you're just making things harder. You're making them impossible. And once it's gone, it's not coming back. And yeah, a lot of creators are just going to walk away. Can you blame them? Spending months or years on something intimate, something risky, something that means something to you, and knowing it might never see the light of day. That kind of pressure crushes you, especially when the odds of making money back are shrinking fast. So what happens? Some of them pivot, safer genres, safer stories, no risk, no red flags. Others, they burn out completely. They vanish, and we lose voices we'll never get back. And here's the part no one talks about. It's not hitting everyone equally. It's hitting queer devs. Oh, sorry, I probably should have said, well, whatever, let's continue. Marginalized devs, furry, kink creators, trans creators, the ones already work less reach and more risk. For a lot of those, erotic games aren't just entertainment, they're safe spaces, tools for exploring identity, for telling the kinds of stories mainstream games won't touch. So when erotic games get scrubbed from the storefronts, it's not just some sexy stuff disappearing. It's eraser. Nuanced stories, queer voices, honest kinks, raw emotions, gone. They'll get to some things. And here's the kicker. Censorship, even the soft kind, never hits the center first, it starts at the edges. Always. So if you push out the devs already on thin ice, guess what? The whole space starts to shrink. The weird stuff, the risky stuff, the real stuff. It's not just adult content that suffers. It's authenticity. It's innovation. It's everything that makes indie games worth watching. I know that sounds dramatic, but I've seen it happen before. And honestly, it hurts to even imagine how many beautiful, strange, and meaningful games will never get made. Erotic games can do things no other genre can. They can talk about power, about consent, about shame, about desire, and self-acceptance. They can make you feel seen in ways no big budget RPG will ever. So when we suppress that, then we send the message that some expressions of identity are less valid, less welcome. It doesn't end with adult games. It seeps out into indie dev spaces, into what gets funded, into what feels safe making it. And suddenly the pipeline dries up. And I want to make it clear to you guys, you can complain all you want, you can try and counter this argument, but there's also a counter to your counter, dude. Okay? Like, I didn't make this video for fun. I made it because, honestly, you gotta think differently. You have to have a different mindset about this. But who cares, right? You're not gay, a furry, or into any kink. You're just a red-blooded heterosexual porn lover. Hey, hold on. That doesn't count for me. I only play for certain stuff. So what if the widows have their stuff taken? It won't affect you. Well, here's another thing most people don't realize. Those feisty games, they help pay the bills. A lot of indie devs rely on nice for work titles to bankroll their more acceptable work. The fun, weird platformer, the heartfelt, the wild experimental prototype. Hang on, let me make sure the recording doesn't back out. Okay, we good? Hopefully. I'm gonna have to make sure this stuff works. Uh, acceptable work, the fun, weird, heartfelt, driven sim, the wild experimental prototype. Those get made because the sexy stuff funds them. Take that away, you're not just killing erotic games, you're getting indie gaming from the inside out. So yeah, when erotic games get suppressed or outright removed from storefronts and payment processes, that income stream, gone. And with it, so is the breathing room a lot of developers need to work on other projects. The non-erotic ones, the passion pieces, the places they've always dreamed of making. It's a ripple effect, and it goes way beyond just adult content. Innovation slows down, diversity shrinks, whole projects get cancelled, projects that had nothing to do with love at all. All because the thing that made them financially possible was quietly erased. And I gotta agree on that, because most people probably don't realize that some devs out there have that stuff on the side so they can make extra money so their main safer work could be made better. Like think about like a game or two that's out there on stream or itch.io. For all you know, they have dirty games on the side. They made something on the side just so they can get more income to finish up their stuff. But yeah, if you can't get that, then you're gonna rely on something else that might not work. That's why this is about erotic games. It's a bigger problem. Central crisis for indie gaming as a whole. If platforms keep tightening the screws, hiding games, branding them, quietly making them unprofitable, we're going to lose the very heart of the indie scene. And I will reference a game that Scouts played, if you've seen it. I was only thinking of him because I remember the game he played, where it has to do with a girl who has to deal with this creature that she knew as a kid. She runs around, and technically he has to censor her behind, but at the same time, it was an awesome game. Even though she gets her tongue cut out and stuff, she has to run around in a towel because she ends up not having her clothes with her. Like, imagine if that game gets censored and the cool story that they had is literally gone. Think about that. You know the ones I mean, those weird little games that made you cry at 2 a.m. or made you see yourself for the first time, or dare to be ugly and bold and beautiful all at once. Without support, without visibility, those games don't get made, period. The people who could have made them, they'll move on to other industries, more stable careers, jobs actually pay the rent. And with them, we lose perspective, we lose new ideas, we lose stories that were never told before and may never be told again. What's left in an industry that looks the same, thinks the same, feels the same. More safe, more polished, more corporate, but a hell of a lot less interesting. Like, like, okay, imagine like a AAA game. Okay, if they just keep playing it safe, all dull, don't add anything to it crazy, then that's not gonna work. Well, AAA games is basically shit anyway. Most of them happen. But like indie games who barely have to work for corporate can find a way to keep literally keeping themselves from rolling. These devs, they're the risk takers. They sold the medium, and when you undercut the few incoming models they have, especially adult content, you don't just hurt them. You hurt all of us. So if we care about the future of games, really care, we have to do more than just tolerate adult content. We have to protect the ecosystem that makes it possible, that makes all this possible. Freedom of expression isn't enough if we don't also fight for the financial space to create, to exist, to thrive. Otherwise, we're going to lose more than just a few sexy games. We're going to lose the voices that made gaming worth caring about in the first place. I guess that's all I wanted to say. If you really care, then here are some links in the description which can help you show support. And thanks for playing the game. No, thank you for making the game. Oh, the other sister's back. That is scratching an itch. Technically a dirty game,